So now today's project is going to be the ebrake, or at least this project, not today's. I don't know if I'll be able to get it done, but yes, you can see brand new ebrake line. So there's exhaust wrap all on that thing. The line got fried, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to wrap this in exhaust wrap. I mean, it should give it a second line of defense, at least where it's going to go right there. What I'm going to do is I'm going to try and do this inside the cab. I'm going to basically I'm not going to remove the e-brake at all. I know I have to take this off right here. This little nut hooks it up to it. So you unremove this nut right here, and this assembly of the switch that your stopper hits, that's what comes out. And hopefully after that I can get the thing in. Okay, so the first step that I did was I removed the spring that was right there with a pair of needle nose pliers. And the spring, it'll go in the hole, and then it attaches up to that bracket right there. So then the next thing I did was I removed the clip right here. It's caked, but it's a clip. And so I removed that clip from this pin. I'm about to pound it out or get it out somehow, and then that line comes free. So that's the rear line of that brake, or that e-brake line. Okay, you can clearly see now it's unbolted. The little pin just came right out. The e-brake is not in, it's disengaged. My tires are chalked. It's out of gear just because my tires are chalked, and you know what, it's fine for right now. But basically, yeah, so what the next step is that people say if there are these clips, you see that? You have your thing right here, your assembly, and then there is a clip, I think on both sides, or you just slide it out with your pliers, and it attaches to this, and then the rest of your brake cable comes out, and then there are also some other little clippy bendy thingies that you need to get to. Shouldn't be too hard, and then you can go to inside the cab. This was the starting point, was outside the cab right here at the where both rear and front mate. So that's where I'm at. I'm going to, you know what, here, second. Okay, I'm not the best dressed just because I don't like doing this in good clothes. I'll go with the big ones. They've been good to me. Trying to figure out how these things come out. I heard that they just slide right out, so I am curious. Oh, I got it. Brake line is now out of that bracket, and now you can just go and you'll be able to see that it kind of just, where was it at? Goes up onto the transmission, and there's something, another, oh yeah, right here. Those little two prongy thingies. They'll come, I'll kind of bend them, or at least like work it around it so I don't have to bend it. But okay, so before taking this little assembly off with the wheel and everything in it, there's a clip right on the bottom right here that you can see. It's right here where my finger is pointing. It's sticking out and protruding out. Pull that clip out before you take both the bolts off, and then you pull that out, and then once the bolts are off, or at least not all the way off, but you unscrew them both, you want to get to the center pin that's in the center right here, and then you get the you get that center pin out with the little cotter pin that's in it, and once that's out, you can take the two bolts off, and then the wheel assembly comes out through the front. Like, you can remove it, and then it comes out through the Okay, so here's the nut that came off. Oh, yeah. So that's the nut that came off. The sensor right here. Hold on. You can see the sensor right there. So that sensor was hooked up right there through the hole. And that's the stopper right there. And so, yeah. Okay, so you can clearly see that this is pushed in further than what it was. All right, so one of the little pins back here, if you play with them, when you'll feel one of them actually goes down. I think it's the back one. It's the very back one. Yeah, it's the very back one. If you push it down, you'll actually feel it go down. And when that goes down, you're able to push this lever in further, like a 1/4 inch, like it says, and then that actually, you'll see now my stopper is up against the flat metal piece, straight up, without this in it. So okay, well, I was all wondering how the hell you get the cable out, because in the 93s and up, or like the newer ones, the cable comes out in the cab. But I guess it's an older model. The wheel assembly is all on the outside. So what that little 1/4 inch does is it allows you to push it. Can you see? Let's see if you can see this. Push it right to. Yeah, I'm sure you can see that. I'm hoping that the camera has that. Okay, so you see a little pin right there. It's able to come out. So that's how you get it out. You just pull this little cup piece off after everything, and then pull the cable out through that. So that's how you're able to get the cable out on an 84. You don't do it in the cab, you do it completely out here. So that's interesting. That's very interesting. I was not aware of it. Okay, so this rolls. You can hear, feel it roll. See this little piece? See how it's boom, see how it just fits right in there? That's where that clip goes, and you want to make sure that you want to put those clips right back in there. I've wrapped the wrap around it so it doesn't melt. Zip tied it. Sensor's back in. It's down. It's free floating right now because I don't have it latched in at the bottom, but. Right there. There you go. Hold on. Okay, so you can see it's bolted in, and pins in this way. Makes it easier. I wrapped it with the exhaust wrap as well, so that gives it an extra layer of protection. Works now.